this lesson don't do what I tell them to do. I want you to do the problems the way I show you, and it's not hard, and it actually takes less time than just doing them in your head. You have to show work on the assignment. I will scan mine so you can see the work. Kayleen, up and running with this? Everybody ready? TJ, you should know this material. This is the circumference of a circle, and we have, try that. That worked. You guys know what circumference is? Cole? It's the distance around a circle. It's a perimeter. Well, I don't like this picture because it looks three-dimensional. It looks like a sphere to me, because it is. But that's okay. It's the distance around a circle or a perimeter. And there are only two formulas you need to know. You do need to know these. Okay, Zach? Do you know what the circumference is in terms of the diameter? Good. What's pi? Pi is approximately 3.14159. Okay, one more digit than I have. Okay, you have a pi button on your calculator. Some problems are done without the calculator, so you need to read the directions.
But it says, but if you do it on the calculator, then it says you do
We'll do it.
times pi, and then she says 2 pi.
Depends on what calculator you're using. Okay? So, what's the circumference in terms, Jack? If I have a circle, this is the diameter. How does the radius relate? Okay, Zach, you guys cannot be sitting there if you're going to talk. Guys, it's not a long lesson. I'm just going to wait, which makes the video longer. The radius is half the diameter, right? Or the diameter is equal to 2 radii. So circumference is 2 pi r. Those are the two formulas you need in this section. And there's a little problem solving. We don't just give you a bunch of circles and have you find circumference. We change it up a little bit, okay, TJ? So when you do the problems, I want you to write the formula that you're using, show the substitution, and solve. Some of you will get it faster than that. Some of you will struggle because you won't do that. Okay. This is awful. There is my circle. Circle has a diameter of 3 meters. What is the circumference? State your answer in both exact. Cole, do you need to move over, desk?
No.
Okay. I want my answer in both exact and approximate terms. So I'm given two formulas. It's pi times diameter, or C equals 2 pi r. I want you to write the formula you're using. I know it seems kind of silly, but I want you to get it right, and you will get it right. And you get your homework done in class, you should have time to spare, even with me giving back the tests. Which one do I want? Do I want the 2 pi r or the pi d? Zach, which one?
The diameter.
Okay, so C equals pi times the diameter. The diameter is 3. I prefer to put the 3 in front of the pi because that's what I'm used to, but I would accept either answer. This is exact. Okay? So when you look at the homework problem, it says leave your answer in terms of pi. That's what this means. Then we have to get our calculators out. So I'm going to get my calculator out. I have an 84. Next year, you will need a graphing calculator. If you have one, it's great. If you don't, you're going to need one. Oh, I went the wrong way. Yes?
Oh, can I try this
Yes?
wicked one?
Okay. Oh, I don't think so. I don't have it. So you guys can beat me to the calculator here. I'm going to bring mine up. Okay? And I want 3 pi. Now, I don't have to put a time sign in there. It's just 3 pi. Pi is right here on this calculator. And just press enter. Now, if you're getting the answer 3 pi, you're probably going to have to use an approximation for pi because your calculator's doing that. The pi button's over here. Now, how many places should we write? We should get ready for calculus. 3. And we don't care if we round or if we just chop off the end. Oh, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, shh, you guys. This is approximately, Zach, approximately 3 pi is approximately 9.424, or you could use 9.425. I don't care if you round. Might as well get used to being ready for some of you who are going to take calculus here at the high school as a senior. We don't round, we can truncate. We can just drop off the last ones. But you need 3 places. I don't care if you round or not. Nope, you just truncate or round, either one. Stack over here. Okay. That's really, it isn't much to ask you to do that. Sorry, my board's a little off.
So if it says 5 pi and it says 5d, will make it 5?
Right, but I want you to show your work because not everybody was seeing how to do that. Here's a circumference of 12 pi. So C equals 12 pi. I want to find the radius. I'm either going to use C equals pi d. It really doesn't matter. C equals 2 pi r. Which one do I want?
2 pi r.
2 pi r. Okay, Colin? So this is C. I'm going to put my 2 pi r in there for C. Just follow the rules. Math tells you what to do. So I have 2 pi times the radius equals 12 pi. And I want to solve for r. What am I going to do to both sides?
Minus
Not minus. Divide by 2 pi.
6 pi r squared.
So r equals,
6 pi.
what happens to the pi's? They cancel.
It's just 6.
Oh, yes.
Not all.
This is a very short lesson. Tomorrow is short, but the problems get a little bit harder tomorrow. Because we're going to do area. Okay? Any problems with that? That looks like number 1 on the homework. This one looks like the last problem on the homework. Now, the problem with the last problem is that you're talking about tiles. Here we're going to find the perimeter of this shape, and you can still find the perimeter of the shape, but you're in feet. But on the last problem, the tiles are in inches. So find the perimeter in feet. You can at least do that. So here's the plan. It says these are semicircles. What if I put this piece with this piece? I didn't draw them very well. I get a circle. So there's the plan. Actually, that came out pretty good. Okay, TJ? So I have one circle, circumference of a circle, plus, and now what about these 2 sides? What shape is this? This is a what? It's a rectangle. So I only need this side and this side. So it's twice the length. So there's 2 of the 18s. There's my plan. That makes it easy. Now, what's the circumference of my circle? Which do I have? Do I have a diameter or a radius?
Diameter.
I have a diameter. So I'm going to use pi d. You can do either one. Doesn't matter. Does anybody know what 2 times 18 is? 36. So it's pi times the diameter, which is 15, plus 36. Well, if I want to build that racetrack, I better know what that number is. I can't go to the lumber yard or wherever I'm going to build it and say I need this much in meters, because they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. Or they already do, but anyway. So we have to change that into an approximation, just like if you were in science class. So how do you put this on your calculator? It all depends on what kind of calculator you have. I can type it in exactly. So I'm going to do 15. My board's off a little bit. Pi plus 36. I can just type in the whole thing. And then press enter. And there it is. I need 83. So if I were to buy lumber or materials or whatever to do that edge, I'd need 84, because 83 isn't big enough, right?
Right.
Okay, and that's all there is. That's all there is to this lesson. So I expect you to write the formulas down, show the work, at least show me what you're multiplying so I can figure out why it's wrong or right. Follow the directions, 1 through 6, leave your answer in terms of pi. That makes it so much easier. You don't need a calculator. On 7 through 10, it says they want you round to the 10th unit, which is fine. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, number 14 looks just like what I just did. 13 is not written very well.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
13, let's talk about it right now, and if you can't do it, we can throw it out, but it's a tree, and it has growth rings. Have you ever cut a tree, seen a tree cut in half? It's got rings. So the rings, the tree gets wider, so the rings are growing a ½ inch wider. I don't like thick. It's not the right word. It's 1/2 inch outward. The radius is increasing by ½ inch. So, in fact, if I were to draw that picture, then the new radius, this would be 0.5 inches. Okay, so they give you the circumference of the tree. How many of these little rings are there in there? That's how many years there are. Does that make a little more sense? So you're going to want to find the radius, and then how many ½ inches go into that radius? And I'll put mine up, but I thought that was kind of weird. If you round too soon on 14, you won't get the answer that's posted up on the website. So carry all your digits with you and get used to doing that. Tomorrow we're going to do area and circumference, and sometimes the problems get a little bit harder, but we'll see. And there's some good review of some old stuff. Yes.